And if Congress does end up voting for a cap-and-trade system, one key new job will be regulating the carbon markets that are created. The Waxman Markey bill splits jurisdiction between FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for trading in allowances, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission for trading in derivatives. But CFTC Chairman Gary Gensler told the Agriculture Committee he has a better idea. And our executive editor, Margaret Ryan, is here now with more. Now, Gensler wants the whole shebang?
Gensler wants the whole shebang. You're right. He took center stage at this hearing today. As the committee opened up, he staked out the CFTC's claim to regulate the entire market in carbon allowances. He stressed the need for strong regulation to avoid any hint of fraud or manipulation, the very charges that have many senators questioning whether they want a carbon market at all. And in his formal testimony, Gensler said, and this is a quote, "I believe that we have the expertise and experience necessary to help regulate the growth in carbon futures and cash markets that will occur if cap and trade becomes law."
CFTC has a great deal of experience regulating the trade part of the cap and trade. We have broad experience in the latter three components of carbon trading: regulating the trade execution systems and clearing of the trades, and protecting against fraud, manipulation, and other abuses. So the Commission has abundant experience in regulation of centralized marketplaces, and should Congress seek to regulate cash markets for emission instruments, the Commission is well suited to carry that out function as well.
Now, Gensler pointed to the CFTC's experience in regulating these small futures markets in other emission allowances, like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, and the Northeastern Regional Greenhouse Gas Market. He stressed the carbon market would require at least daily updates of allowance registries to reflect current trading. The EPA maintains the SOx and NOx registries, and they are not updated every day. He didn't mention FERC once, and he wouldn't respond to a reporter's question about why he was challenging FERC. He just repeated the CFTC's capabilities. But not a single senator questioned the advisability of the CFTC's having sole oversight, and with reason. The CFTC is overseen by the agriculture committees on both sides of Capitol Hill, while FERC is overseen by the energy committees.
So, Margaret, we heard a lot from Gensler about the experience that the CFTC has. And what about the staffing? We heard from Lev Wellinghoff on our show here talking about how he'd like oversight as well, but he would really have to staff up to try to oversee what is going to be such a huge market.
Well, actually, Gensler said exactly the same thing. He said in his prepared testimony and in Q&A with senators, he said, we're going to need more resources if we're going to do this. This will be a large market. He said, made no bones about it being far bigger than anything they've done in the way of emissions so far, that the sulfur and NOx markets, for instance, are simply small potatoes compared to what they expect from a carbon cap and trade system.
But his big message, one agency better than two.
Absolutely. And he said his agency was able to do it. And you know, it reflected testimony we heard last week when the CFTC and the SEC had joint hearings. And there were a number of people in the industry who said, you know, it would be better if the U.S., instead of following this bifurcated system of having physical trading regulated by the SEC and having at futures trading, you know, under a special organization, if we did what the entire rest of the world does, which is to have a single trading regulator, it would make our interaction with international regulators much easier, because we'd have a similar system. Ours is the one that's different from everybody else.
All right. Interesting to hear FERC's response to today's proceedings.
Absolutely.
Margaret Ryan, thank you.